Well, if you've got an outlet of say 100 people on your Twitter, that's the most people are going to see what you did. Does it make sense to spend $1,000 on an animation? Sure, it looks cool, but if you if everybody in your outlet that you can advertise to has never is wouldn't like if you sold to every one of them, and it wouldn't make the cost of like say the animation worthwhile. You know, then what you're doing it for vanity at that point. It makes you feel like you're doing the right things, as opposed to look and say, look, I know I have this many people. This is what I can afford to reach out to them, and maybe what's a more cost effective way of reaching these people, still being memorable. I'm of a belief that like a good idea, a good memorable idea, is much better than a really expensive video, or a really expensive idea.
I wouldn't say, at least in my case, I wouldn't say it's for vanity. That's why I said I got overly excited. I was like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get this video out. I'm going to do these holiday posters. People are going to love this stuff. And some people did. The people who saw it ended up liking it. But there again, that's why I say don't get ahead of yourself and end up spending, all that money and the return not being, um, what you would want or hope for it to be.
So, which holiday, out of curiosity?
I've been doing it for a couple of years. I always do a Halloween and a Christmas one, and the Halloween one for this year is set to be done in the middle of October. Um, and I will say this might be the I'll say it like this. I might rethink doing holiday posters. I love doing them. I really do. And I love getting them out there, but they are costly, and I can use that money for something else that might be a little bit better. So I may be rethinking what I put my money towards. I'm not talking about investing in less. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I might be putting my money in a different investment bucket, if that makes sense. That we're in. I don't want people to think I'm being greedy and making everything about money. I most certainly am not. What I'm getting at is, I don't. I need to spend my money where it makes sense, and I want others who see this and watch this who are getting into this space to definitely spend your money where it makes sense. If you do not have a large audience, and like Nikki P just said, does it make sense for you, monetarily speaking, to spend $1,000 or whatever the money is? It could be $300. Does it make sense for you to spend that money on whatever it is you're looking at, be it a poster, be it a video, but whatever it is? And if you do the math and you're like, well, maybe it may not make sense monetarily wise, but I want to do it because I really like it and it'll be on my website or whatever, and it'll be something people come and watch later. Then you weigh that into consideration. That's why I prefaced everything I said, for this with that's why I got too excited and too ahead of myself because I'm more emotionally invested in getting people to read my comic and like it that I will do everything I can to get it out there. But monetarily speaking, I may have made the wrong decision on investing in an animatic that not many people have seen.
Well, but here's another thing, and this take into consideration, everyone. I'm sure you'll agree that, like, because of how long the process is and how many obstacles you do come up against, there is absolutely something to be said for anything that can re-excite you and reignite you as a creator in the project. Something that like yeah, this it's not helping me necessarily bring in a ton more people, but like it's helping me to feel excited and like the project's a little bit new in some way again to have something. I don't begrudge that to anybody.
100% disagree or agree. Yes, agree. Yes, 100% agree.
And if you're gonna make Christmas stuff, just make sure you let me know, and I will buy up all of it because I love Christmas. As if the Christmas tree on my desk behind me isn't, you know, enough of a signal.
Hey, I figured, and that's why I love Christmas as well. I really freaking do. It's like 365 here. I will go to Hobby Lobby like as soon as they have Christmas stuff and just walk around.
I have an entire Christmas section of comics. I don't even read most of the runs that they're from, but they're all Christmas comics, so I get them because they're holiday themed.
Yeah, see, if I knew nothing else about you and I just knew that you like Christmas, I'd be like, okay, I want to go on this guy's show. Just that's it's really the best time of the year, folks. I mean, it really is.
We celebrate every 25th of every month in my house because my wife works for UPS, so we don't get to have like a really she's working and sleeping a lot during the holidays, so we don't see her much. So every 25th of the month we listen to Christmas music, and I call it Giftly Day. Um, and then we keep our Christmas tree up year round. We change the decorations every month and like have different skirts for the seasons, but the main tree stays up, and then we put up more trees when the actual holiday comes around.
Yeah, that's wonderful. But yeah, going off what you said, so to give another example, is I have another sci-fi story that I'm slowly working on. It's not something that's going to be out really anytime soon, but I'm slowly working on it. And like you just said, to keep me excited about the project, I commissioned a character sheet already for the main character, and that's literally just for me to continue to have some sort of like encouragement to keep me wanting to devote time to telling the story. Not that I don't already want to do it, even if I didn't have the character sheet, but it's an additive, so to speak.
It's forward motion, if nothing else.
Yeah, right. But yeah, that's just another really good example that I think would be good for some people. That if you're writing a story and maybe you're having a hard time staying motivated, if you've got some money laying around, maybe go get a character sheet of your character, and you can change how your character looks later. Just make sure you let your artist know, hey, I'm writing the story. I want to get a character sheet out. Of character A, they're mostly done, but I may change, like, if it's fantasy character, I may change their armor later on, and just let your artist know, and I'm sure they'll be more than happy to work for you or work with you on that in the future. But yeah, definitely is a good way to stay motivated and appeal to um, yourself as an author.
So maybe the important takeaway is understand why you're doing things before you do them. Like, no, if I'm considering this an investment in the project because I expect that it's going to get me new people watching, or I'm considering this an investment in the project because it's helping keep me excited about what I'm doing with it while there's, a lull in, forward progress. It's, it's being honest with yourself about what you're getting out of any given transaction or any given decision that you're making.
Right, 100%. And that self investment really does go a long way later on. Like some people, like I mentioned, some people didn't even know I did holiday posters. They had no idea. So when I told them about that, and they said, "Yeah, this goes back to, like, 2019." They had a few years of holiday posters to go back and take a look at, and I was more than happy to, obviously give them the links and stuff like that to go to. So yeah, that investment that I started doing in 2019 really, helped out. I think it was like, last year when people were asking about that for the holiday posters.
I mean, I've been following you for at least a year and I had no idea about these holiday posters. And now I need to go back and grab them all.
Well, yeah, you see, that's the weird thing too with the algorithm is every time they're done, I post them, and I post them a few times throughout whatever the holiday is. So let's say it's a Halloween one. That's going to be coming out in the middle of October. I'll post that a couple times all throughout October and even into November. And I do the same thing for the Christmas one. Go through Christmas into January. And for you, like you just said, you've been following me for a year, and you just now found out. I don't. I think you have to, like, add a hashtag or whatever. Like, I don't work like on the algorithm aspect very very well myself. So
It's not even that. It's if you're not posting if you don't post it 3 times a day every day, then no one's ever going to see it. Just because of the algorithm, there's too much other crap for people to see that they're just not going to get to see it in their feed. And it's annoying and it sucks. But like that's the bottom line about how the system works. Like the people that do really good on Twitter are people that have time to live on Twitter. That's I spend more time than most because, elements of what I do, it helps to kind of be mixing it up. But I'll be the first to admit I'm not great at Twitter because I'm just not pithy enough. It's just not my personality. I like long form discussion and things like that.
I definitely agree with you there. I'm not a social media person either. Like the last social media I actually liked is going to show my age so much was MySpace. That's the last time I actually enjoyed the social media aspect.
Well, I'm an emo kid, so I just remember MySpace being how all my bands shared their music, and then getting to go to other people's pages and hear my music on there.
Oh yeah, MySpace was freaking fantastic.
I was so excited when it got picked up and bought, and like we thought they were going to bring it back, and they didn't.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know it got picked up and bought. Wow.
Yeah, I think you're pretty sure you can actually still go to your old MySpace page. The only elements that don't work are the last time I was there, the audio elements didn't work.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they ran into like copyright issues or something like that.
Well, for me, like that's how I used to share all my music. Like,
Yeah, right. That's what people did. You go to someone's MySpace page and they've got, either it's an embedded media player with, like, 1 to 5 songs, or they just got one song playing in the background.
and mine in particular, like there's still one original song that like that was the only place that existed. Like I didn't, the original hard drive that it was on crashed, and so the only place I could go to listen to my one song, what do you call it? It's Chupacabra. It was called, and the only place it was on MySpace. And now I can't even listen to it there. I remember it. I remember it in my head. It was a good song though.
Yeah, yeah, all those good songs can definitely make it memorable.
So why don't we tell everyone, well, I still got you here, where they can head out and get their copy of the book?
It's on Kickstarter. So if you go to Kickstarter, type in Underworld Dawn, you'll be able to find it there. I also, post about it on my, Twitter. I try to do, a couple of times a day, but as I've just admitted, I am not very good at social media. And then you can also go to my website, underworlddawn.net, and that's where I'm honestly the most active, is on my website. To contact me if you want to talk to me about anything. If you need to, if you want advice from me, I'm more than happy to give it. You can, contact me through there as well. I don't have a Discord or Guilded. I disbanded my Guilded. So if you're watching this and you're from my Guilded, I'm sorry, but I will not bow down and kowtow to the Roblox nonsense. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do as far as the community goes. I think I've arrived at a soft conclusion, not a hard one, a soft conclusion, that I might wait until the audience grows a little bit before I create a server somewhere. I've also been thinking about putting just forums on my website. Go back to the '90s style or in the early 2000s. So, but yeah, for now, underworlddawn.net is kind of the main hub of where I operate out from. And then my Twitter, at Calvin Gulotta, and then you can go to Kickstarter and type in Underworld Dawn. You'll find it there fully funded.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Calvin. Everybody go pick up a copy of this book. It's one that I know I'm definitely been waiting for. So you'll be in good company there.
Well, thank you for having me on.